Sagittarius, hi, welcome. It's Erin Scott here with the Alchemy of Holism. And Dragon is sitting here at the window. So I'm going to tap in. We're going to see what forms, images, pictures, patterns, colors want to come through for you. And we are tapping into this very seriously, a dynamic, powerful Taurus new moon cycle. I'm filming this on Mother's Day in the U.S. here. I think it's just the U.S. I think Mother's Day here is just the U.S. Anyway, Sunday, May 13th. In 2 days, on the 15th, we have this Taurus Sun conjunction, the Taurus new moon, that is happening in association with the Uranus ingress into Taurus for the next 7 years. And it's a very correlated, powerful time frame that humanity is moving into. The new chapter of our evolution is moving into a total revolutionary reorientation of physicality, earth, body, food systems, our perception of physical reality. All of that is up for great shift and change over the course of the upcoming 7-year cycle. And it is a big theme, but it's happening in conjunction with this Taurus new moon. So let's tap in. We'll talk more as I go, but let me start to tap in. I have some gouache paint here, and we're going to see for Sagittarius what wants to come through here. Okay. So Sag, just give me a second here. And I also am going to pull from my Siri deck, my cards. At the end, we're going to pull a prime growth edge for you. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just seeing what's coming through. This is representing your natural evolutionary arc of growth over the course of this cycle. What is catalyzing a particular growth edge for you? This is nature, by the way. This is not mystical, magical, angelic, any of that stuff. This is nature. This is natural evolutionary arc. So, by the way, happy Mother's Day. Since I am filming this on Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there who are mothers. And indeed, with Uranus moving into Taurus, material fixed. Taurus, this is about matter. It's also about manifestation. And mother, the Latin word for mother is mater, M-A-T-E-R. So mother is matter. Mother matters, and mother brings matter forward, yeah? So matter is up for reappreciation in the next 7 years. That's one of the themes. Sorry, Sag, I might sneeze. Something might want to come here. I also have my charcoal pencils here, so we're going to just see what wants to come in paint and in charcoal. So, Sag, one thing that I'll say is that in the Pisces reading that I just did, and here with yours, is my cat is suddenly, first of all, he's sitting right next to me. He's sitting right next to the easel here, and he's wheezing. And he hasn't wheezed all day. He's not sat up near me for any of the other readings. And what I want to say with that is there is something, and I didn't mention it with the Pisces reading, but for you, what I'll say with the wheezing is there's something with breathing that is labored. And we'll talk about that, okay? Because that's part of your reading. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's right by me and he's wheezing really loudly. Make sure you can see everything okay. And you all can see that these are pretty simplistic paintings here. And that's the purpose of them. They are, yeah, they just are images that flow through and are really just symbolic. These are not meant to be great works of art. It's interesting because I still want to pick the yellow. I have a lot of other colors here, but the yellow keeps wanting to come. Which is quite good, Sag. And we'll talk about why. Sag, so although I can't say I really like this image, I mean, it's not like, I don't know, it feels like there's probably still more that wants to come. I do want to start talking about it because there's kind of bulk imagery that's coming through. First of all, a lot of you are not going to see this because it doesn't necessarily look like it, but the feeling when this form came through, the form came, but the symbol of what it was being was not clear. But what ultimately ended up getting clear is a shoe. Now, specifically a heel, like a high heel. So this is like a high back. Here's like the heel of the shoe, the high heel, the back of the high heel. And here is like the front of the shoe. The foot and the ankle would go here. Okay, so terrible rendering, but that's what it is. That's what it ultimately wanted to be. This is like a trellis, and these are like vines. And what I want to say, there's a couple things to say. One, the trellis came pretty rapidly. So the initial form came, then the trellis came, okay? And the trellis for me is representing a structure. and it's representing something above a roof structure, some sense of protection, but it's not full protection. It has gaps. It's not a roof. It is a structure above your head to be a lattice work, which is exactly what this is, because these are green vines here. So there's some growth on top of an arc of holy lattice. It's not a thick roof. It's not completely secure. It's not completely stable. It's not going to keep out rain, and it's not going to keep out high winds, snow, and other climatic events, for example. But there is a skeleton of protection. That's what I'm getting. And so over the course of this month, mid-May to mid-June, and symbolic of a more macrocosmic cycle for you over the course of the next 7 years, is this feeling, a sense of semi-protection, a skeleton of protection, that there's something, there's a structure, there's a form, there's some sort of structure is the only word that I'm coming up with, but there's some sort of structure of protection that you can use to create the fill, or you can create to have it stay open and have the rains come in, have the weather come in. But what I get with that is there's a skeleton, there's a beginning. It's almost like a new beginning too. And the reason why I say that is because you have these vines here on this trellis, almost like grapevines or any kind of wisteria or any kind of a vined flowering plant or a fruiting plant that is up here providing nurturance, perhaps with the flowers, with the scent, or with the fruit. But it's a skeleton providing a structure for you to have nurturance rain down on you. All these are drooping down. And this is also representing growth. So there's something this month in 2018, mid-May to mid-June, where you might feel, you might sense a new structural reality, a new sense of protection. You might not feel totally protected. It's not a solid roof, but you feel something, and it might feel structured, and it might feel there's potential there to grow what you need to grow. If you decide to get up on a ladder and put, panels on top of this trellis, then you have a roof. But it's almost like there's potential for you. The other thing with this shoe, it's very important because this is about walking forward. The interesting thing, it's a high heel, but let's talk about the shoe first, okay? So the shoe, and I need to move because the sun is coming in here, but the shoe is talking about protection for your feet to move forward, to go into the next chapter of your story, and it's about feeling protected. The interesting thing is it is a high heel. And for me, that's referring to two things. One, it's referring to the feminine. So whether you're, a man who wears high heels, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the symbology of a high heel, traditionally talking about on a woman's foot, but it's talking about the feminine, the energy of the feminine. For me, there is a new height of feminine energy, of grounding. Feet and shoes represent grounding and safety for walking. And for me, there is some new feminine strength, new feminine protection, new rooted identity in your feminine energy that is walking forward. And keep in mind, if you look at the back of it's almost like a high-backed shoe. The back of the shoe is where the trellis extends from. And so it's almost like this massive shoe, this feeling of able to walk forward, or I am protected to walk forward. This is your reality this month. There's some new sense of grounding. And from that shoe, there's a skeleton of protection that you feel. And this could be for a lot of you like spiritual protection and physical. Could be physical as well, but I almost get that you feel a skeleton of practical protection in your logistical reality, your material reality, but also spiritual. And it is full of potential for growing whatever you want to grow on it, you know. Over here to the side is this chair. And this also wanted to be yellow. Okay. So the chair here also wanted to be yellow. The chair for me talks about comfort. It talks about the ability to rest, the ability to sit and stay. It also actually could be referring to meditation. Meditation practice for all of us is going to be more and more exponentially so important. And it could be that this is representing a seat, a place to rest, a place to be still. Over the course of this month ahead, it could be that you find your place, you feel some sense of structure here, you know, you feel a sense of that trellis, you know, you feel some sense like I can move forward now. I've been through a lot in the last several months, several years, and I have it in me to walk forward. I feel some structured protection. And I'm going to take a break, I'm going to take a rest, and I'm going to make it part of my, perhaps, day-to-day routine, you know. I don't know, Sag, it's an interesting one, this one. This is an interesting one. I feel confident with the shoe symbology and confident with this. The chair is a little bit, it could go a couple different ways. One could be you need to sit and rest, because it could be that some of you are spinning a bit, or some of you are not taking the time to take time for yourself, to rest, to nurture yourself, to self-nurture, okay? All right. I will say, too, it's no accident that I chose to do this with the sun right where it was going to be. I've not done any of the other readings with it this direct. So right now I'm filming this at 7:30 at night on Sunday, the 13th of May, 2018. And the sun is coming right in, and that's no accident. Either is the cat's wheezing. So let's talk about dragon wheezing. So he's done it twice. He did it with Pisces, and he's doing it with you. So if you have Pisces in your chart strongly, the wheezing is also going to refer to you. What I will say, first of all, with cat refers or is symbolic of flexibility, and cats are also reflective of the ability to self-nurture, to take care of themselves, to clean themselves, to rest, to sleep many hours during the day. So cats represent this ability to self-nurture. And I will say that goes directly with the chair reference that I was just talking about. Okay, so there's that. But the wheezing talks about some labored breathing. Breath is spirit. It's the in and out which keeps us alive. It's breath, you know, entering the body system and really inspiriting us. Right? So there's a labored spiritual element there of flow. And again, what I'm really getting even stronger is that this is talking about maybe a need to rest, a need to stop, a need to cut off drama, a need to cut off the spinning mind, the spinning mind, the spinning mind, which is the crux of all suffering. All right? And that's what I'm getting. There is some sense of stability, both foundationally below your feet and your ability, your confidence level to move forward. And you sense some structure above, which could be both logistical, like you almost feel like the roof over your head is more stable, logistically, materially in this physical 3D reality, but you also might feel that spiritually there's a skeleton of structure that is holding into place that which will bring you harvest, that which will bring you nurturance, but you need to rest. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to go and pull from my Siri deck. This is my own 144 card deck. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about the sun glare, because the sun glare could speak to you specifically, because this is for your reading. It could speak to feeling the glare of life events, the glare over the course of this month. There might be things that are harsh to your senses, that feel harsh to your sensibilities, that feel harsh to your energy, and that you in fact decide, yes, you know, I need a rest. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and select a card here. This is going to represent a growth edge for you, a core growth edge for the month ahead, for this new moon cycle, natural evolutionary cycle. Everybody's in it. You have your distinct narrative of growth, and one just popped out. So I'm going to take this one. And this is also talking about the next 7 years to an extent as well. It is tapping into the macrocosmic cycle, okay? So we have grace. Grace. Grace is your growth edge this month. That means that it's time to set down the gauntlet and allow process, allow your own process, allow the process of life to stay in your own mental reality, your own business, and get out of projecting onto others and needing to figure out or fix others. This is about being in grace about the situation of your life, of your context, of your soul journey, of your skill set, of your mastery path. So grace is what is called to grow and mature over the course of this month ahead, as well as the next 7 years. There's going to be more for you over the next 7 years, but this gives you a flavor. So for those of you interested in weekly potions, where I have weekly live streams where my patrons join, and I talk about the astrology of the week ahead, the symbology of the week ahead, and offer guidance for the week ahead with your intuitive participation included in that. And there's bi-weekly card pulls. There's a Facebook group, etc. Those that are interested, you can check out the link below. Otherwise, for soul print identification, to really get clear on how you are encoded, what narratives are naturally encoded in you, in your distinct form, what is your mastery trajectory, what is the alignment, as within, so without. But the struggle comes when we struggle against our encoding. What is our natural path forward? So for those interested in finding out more about my work, you can go to thealchemyofholism.com. And for those interested in following me on my May Mastery Month of fasting, cleansing, wild food foraging, I'm posting daily, many times a day actually, on Instagram, and you can find the link to follow that below. All right, and so until the next video, everybody, I am wishing you a happy Mother's Day for this portal, and a good, solid, grounded self-care month for you ahead. And until the next video, I'll talk to you soon. Much love, everybody. Bye-bye.